everybody, and welcome back to another video. Today we have something very interesting here. We have some Gymnopilus Ventricosus growing. Now, they were all growing out of that little explosion right there, but I think over the night, maybe some sort of like person or animal decided to dig these up. So we're gonna be doing something that I don't think is on YouTube, and that's a taste test of these. Apparently they're so disgustingly bitter that it will almost make you sick. So because these are not poisonous, we're going to take one and try it and see how bad it really is. So, and there are some other ones there and a goopy mess there. So it got some flies flying on them, but they look fine to me, and just the other day they were attached. So I think that we'll take this one right here and try that. So when they're fresh, they have a strong mushroomy odor, I guess. I don't really know how else to describe it. Let's set that one down and maybe take a look at one of the bigger ones here. This one, again, has like a strong mushroomy odor. But I think we're only going to take maybe, I guess we could do an experiment. I'll take this one right here, I suppose. And it's a small one, so we can also maybe test that one and see if it's any more or any less bitter. And then the rest of these, I guess they can just rot there. So I'll be taking these two. Okay. So later I will add to this. Welcome back, everybody. Here we have our big specimen. We've got our little one, medium I should say, and then we've got our tiny one. So we're gonna see if the sizes determine the bitterness of this mushroom, and if it's really as bitter as people say, then we might not be able to get all the way through. So I'm gonna say that we should try a little bit of the stem first. So maybe on our medium specimen, I will just cut into the stem right here, and we'll get some nice tissue. And I've already cleaned these off, so nothing is dirty. Let's start with a smell. Start with a smell here. So these have a very strong mushroomy smell. Now, without further ado, let's take a little nibble test. And let's see really how bitter this Gymnopilus Ventricosus is. Wow, that is very, very bitter. Wow. Oh my God. Extremely bitter. Okay, so just that small piece alone from the stem was extremely bitter. It really was not sickeningly bitter. I suppose if you ate a large quantity, maybe. But because it was tolerable, let's go ahead and see if the
let's go ahead and see if the stem, I'm sorry, not the stem, if the cap is any more or any less bitter. So maybe I'll just cut a little bit of this cap off right here, a little triangular piece. Now, one more thing to note is, since we have a little bit of the gills mixed in, we're probably gonna have some spores mixed in. And spores are usually one of the less taste appealing parts of a mushroom. So a lot of people will actually get rid of them before they eat them. So let's go ahead and try our little pumpkin pie. And let's see if that's any more or any less bitter than the previous one. Okay, right off the bat, far less bitter. In fact, it's not bitter at all. And because this is not a poisonous mushroom, although it's considered inedible, it honestly doesn't taste any different than store-bought varieties in the genus Agaricus, for example. So honestly, if I were to find more of these in the woods, I could probably make myself a nice meal. I bet you they wouldn't even be half bad if they were cooked. So based on this, I would say that the stem is the bitter part, and the cap is actually not bitter at all. Since I do have this little pin right here, let's go ahead and pop the little bit of the pin in our mouth maybe, and then we can see if the pin is any more or any less bitter. So we're gonna start off with a smell, and let's see if it smells any less or more strongly than our whole mushrooms here. Okay, again, the cap is not bitter. Let's try some of the stem. Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of bitterness, but I don't think it was as much as the whole mushrooms. So I think what I'm gonna do is try to pop a bigger piece of the stem in my mouth at one time and see how overpowering it really is. Okay, let's cut off a bigger piece of the stem. Oh, there it goes on the floor. And now for the final test, let's put this this baby carrot sized piece of a mature stem in our mouth, and I'm gonna crunch it up and see really how bitter it is. Oh wow, oh my god, oh Okay, that was one of the most bitter things, if not the most bitter thing I have ever eaten in my entire life. That was so bitter that my body was rejecting it actively. It was almost like a placebo throw up. That was so disgustingly bitter that I would honestly I would slip one of those onto somebody's dinner plate as a cruel but funny, sick joke if it were one of my friends. Wow. Wow. I think I see why there are no other taste tests on YouTube now. So once again, just to recap, pun intended, doesn't seem to be any bitterness present in the cap of the Gymnopilus ventricosus species, but wow, in the stem, that is overpoweringly bitter. I put a baby carrot-sized piece in my mouth. I could not imagine putting more than that in. Oh my God. Whew, I had to spit that out immediately. The good piece of news though is that I would say that whichever compound is present in that mushroom that is causing it to be so overpoweringly and disgustingly bitter seems to be pretty water soluble. So I was just able to rinse my mouth out with some water, and for the most part the bitterness was gone. But wow, that mushroom definitely will not be on my grocery list. Oh my God. Wow. Well, there you have it, the first Gymnopilus ventricosus taste test on YouTube. So I will be throwing these somewhere back in the yard for the cycle of life to continue on the forest floor. And I will not be saving these for any dinner at any upcoming time because that was terrible. Wow. As a little added bonus to today's video, my sister has decided to be a part of it.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go. It's not bitter.
No, it's not bitter.
Okay.
I mean, it's not the tastiest. It's a bit bitter, but it's not that bad.
Wow, the piece that I ate was overpoweringly bitter. Let's try with the mature specimen.
It doesn't taste very good. The aftertaste is like...
You want to try one more?
Sure. Not that big of a piece.
I'm just going to cut that off so we get you a clean piece.
I'll take like... Okay.
3, 2, 1, mash.
I mean, it's not bitter, it just tastes like shit.
Wow. Okay, so I guess that will conclude the video. Apparently, my blood sibling is immune to the extremely horrid, bitter taste of the Gymnopilus mushroom. So, I guess it's up to the person.
Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of tastiness, what would you rate the...
Like a 0.
A 0. So she says it's very untasty. Well, I'm gonna conclude the video here. I hope everybody that watched enjoyed it.